So, to regain the greatness of Iran could only be done in
The dark truth behind why Iran's Shah banished his wife. A love story that changed Iran. In the opulent halls of Iranian royalty, a romance blossomed that would captivate the world. This is the story of Soraya Esfandiari Bakhtiari, the breathtaking queen whose marriage to the last Shah of Iran became one of history's most poignant tales of love and loss. Born in 1932 in Isfahan, Soraya emerged from an extraordinary lineage. Her father, Khalil Esfandiari, served as Iran's ambassador to West Germany, while her mother, Eva Karl, brought German aristocratic heritage to the Union. This unique blend of East and West would shape Soraya into a woman of remarkable sophistication and charm. Growing up across Europe's most prestigious locales, particularly in Germany and Switzerland, Soraya received an education that transcended traditional boundaries. Her command of multiple languages, coupled with an innate grace, made her stand out in the most refined social circles. She wasn't just beautiful, she embodied the perfect fusion of Persian elegance and European sophistication. A destined encounter. The fateful meeting between Soraya and Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi occurred in London in 1948. At just 16, Soraya's ethereal beauty and intellectual depth immediately captured the Shah's attention. Their connection was instant and profound, marking the beginning of a romance that would enchant the world. The Shah's previous marriage to Princess Fawzia of Egypt had ended in divorce, leaving him seeking not just a wife, but a true partner. The political marriage had crumbled under the weight of cultural differences and personal incompatibilities, with Fawzia returning to Egypt, leaving the Shah to contemplate his future. The weight of dynasty. As the leader of Iran, Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi carried enormous responsibilities. The Pahlavi dynasty's mission to modernize Iran required not just political acumen, but also a stable royal household. The Shah needed an heir to ensure his legacy and the continuation of his vision for Iran. When he met Soraya, the Shah found himself torn between his heart's desire and his royal duties. Yet his love for her was genuine, transcending the political pressures that typically dominated royal marriages. In Soraya, he saw not just a beautiful woman, but a partner who could help bridge Iran's traditional past with its modern future. A royal romance. The Shah's proposal to Soraya was nothing short of spectacular. The engagement ring, featuring a magnificent 22.37-carat diamond, symbolized not just their love, but the grandeur of their future together. The announcement of their engagement sent waves of excitement throughout Iran and beyond, with the public enchanted by the young couple's obvious affection for each other. However, their path to marriage faced an early challenge when Soraya contracted typhoid fever. The illness delayed their wedding plans, but only served to increase public anticipation. When she finally recovered, the preparations for what would become one of the most lavish royal weddings in history began in earnest. The wedding in 1951 transformed Tehran into a scene from a fairy tale. The ceremony represented more than just a marriage. It symbolized the union of traditional Persian values with modern aspirations, embodied in the stunning young queen who had captured their beloved Shah's heart. A wedding of unprecedented grandeur. The royal wedding of Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi and Soraya Esfandiari Bakhtiari stands as one of the most opulent ceremonies in Iranian history. The bride, radiating ethereal beauty, wore an extraordinary Christian Dior creation, a silver lame gown adorned with 37,000 delicate feathers and thousands of diamonds that caught the light with every movement. The masterpiece took months to create and required multiple fittings to achieve perfection. The royal palace transformed into a breathtaking spectacle, hosting an impressive gathering of international dignitaries, foreign diplomats, and Iran's most distinguished elite. The air was thick with anticipation as traditional Persian customs unfolded. The couple sat before an ornate mirror, its reflection symbolizing their bright future together, while attendants ground sugar over their heads, a time-honored blessing for sweetness in marriage. The palace resonated with the enchanting melodies of traditional Persian musicians, their songs carrying through the open windows into the streets of Tehran. Outside, the city had become a festival of joy. Citizens from all walks of life joined in the celebrations, their collective happiness creating an atmosphere of unbridled optimism. For many, this union represented more than just a royal marriage. It symbolized hope for a new era of prosperity and progress in Iran. Love amidst cultural tensions. Despite the Shah's evident devotion to Soraya, widely considered the greatest love of his life, their marriage faced significant challenges from the start. Soraya's background as the daughter of a German mother, coupled with her European upbringing, made her a target of criticism among traditionalists. Her modern Western education and independent spirit, while admirable in many ways, clashed dramatically with the conservative expectations placed on an Iranian queen. In her own memoirs, Soraya candidly admitted her initial naivete. "I was a dunce. I knew next to nothing of the geography, the legends of my country, nothing of its history, nothing of the Muslim religion. This cultural disconnect would prove to be a persistent challenge throughout her royal life." A queen between two worlds. The young queen's struggle to reconcile her European identity with her role as Iran's queen became increasingly apparent. The feeling of being both Christian and Muslim, but at the same time of being neither one nor the other, has engraved in my flesh two divergent poles between which my existence has unfolded, she wrote. The one is methodically European, the other savagely Persian. Within the palace walls, Soraya faced constant opposition from the Shah's family, particularly his mother, Queen Mother Taj ol-Muluk, and his sister, Princess Shams. They viewed her growing influence over the Shah with suspicion and made little effort to hide their disdain. Their hostility only deepened Soraya's sense of isolation in a court that already felt foreign to her sensibilities. During state visits to the West, particularly America, Soraya's inner conflict became more pronounced. A visit to Hollywood exposed her to a world of glamour and freedom that deeply resonated with her European sensibilities. Her famous water skiing incident in the United States, where paparazzi captured her in a swimsuit, sparked outrage in conservative Iranian circles. These moments highlighted the growing chasm between her natural inclinations and the rigid expectations of her royal role, foreshadowing the difficulties that would eventually lead to her tragic departure from Iran's royal story. A royal love under strain. Despite mounting tensions over Soraya's unconventional approach to royal life, her relationship with the Shah flourished in their early years together. The couple shared an intense passion that manifested in lavish world travels, enchanting masquerade balls, and intimate moments away from the pressures of court life. Their genuine affection and Soraya's stunning beauty made them the darlings of international society, with the Shah's devotion to his wife evident in every public appearance. The shadow of infertility. However, after 3 years of marriage, a devastating reality began to emerge. The absence of a royal heir cast an increasingly dark shadow over their union. The pressure from both the royal family and the Iranian people grew unbearable. In October 1954, hoping to address these concerns, the couple traveled to the United States, where Soraya underwent extensive fertility treatments. The diagnosis that followed would shatter their world. The doctors confirmed that Soraya could not bear children. The news struck at the very foundation of their marriage. For the Shah, an heir was not merely a personal desire, but a dynastic necessity. For Soraya, the diagnosis deepened her already profound sense of inadequacy within the royal court. In a touching display of love and sacrifice, she suggested changing the constitution to allow one of the Shah's half-brothers to inherit the throne. The Shah's response, claiming he needed to consult with a non-existent council of wise men, revealed his own struggle between love and duty. The final choice. The pressure on the Shah intensified as his mother and court advisors insisted on divorce, arguing that the dynasty's survival depended on producing an heir. In a last desperate attempt to preserve their marriage, the Shah proposed taking a second wife while allowing Soraya to maintain her position as queen. For Soraya, raised with European values and possessing a naturally jealous disposition, this suggestion was unconscionable. She later wrote poignantly about the Shah's Eastern mindset, contrasting him with the Duke of Windsor, who had famously abdicated his throne for love. The final act of their love story unfolded with brutal swiftness. On March 5th, the Shah delivered his ultimatum: accept a second wife or face divorce. 5 days later, a council convened to address the crisis, and by March 14th, the public learned of the imperial couple's impending divorce. Soraya, only 25 years old, described her acceptance as a sacrifice of my own happiness, though she later revealed she had no say in the final announcement. The aftermath of love. The British ambassador to Iran observed that Soraya was the Shah's only true love, noting the monarch's conflicted emotions about the divorce. The Shah's subsequent marriage to Farah Diba, who bore him 4 children, fulfilled the dynasty's needs, but never replicated the passionate love he had shared with Soraya. The young queen who had captured Iran's heart never remarried, carrying the weight of her lost crown and love story into exile. Her tale became a powerful reminder that even in the highest echelons of power, the heart's desires often clash with the unyielding demands of duty and tradition. Life after the crown. Following her heart-wrenching separation from the Shah, Soraya's life took unexpected turns as she sought to rebuild her identity beyond the confines of royalty. The former queen, armed with her timeless beauty and newfound freedom, explored various paths to self-discovery, though the shadow of her past would forever follow her footsteps. Her romantic life continued to capture public attention as she found herself drawn to notable figures in European society. Among them was the acclaimed director Maximilian Schell, whose artistic sensibilities resonated with Soraya's own creative aspirations. She also shared a meaningful connection with industrial heir Gunther Sachs, though neither relationship would evolve into the lasting love she had once known with the Shah. A brief affair with cinema. Seeking to reinvent herself, Soraya ventured into the world of cinema, choosing to use only her first name, a decision that reflected her desire to establish an identity independent of her royal past. Her striking beauty and natural presence caught the attention of prominent filmmakers, leading to what seemed like a promising new chapter in her life. Initially, she was slated to portray Catherine the Great in an ambitious biographical film directed by Dino De Laurentiis. The project, which would have seen her playing another historical royal figure, seemed almost poetically fitting. However, like many of her post-royal endeavors, this opportunity dissolved before reaching fruition. In 1965, Soraya achieved her most notable screen appearance in The Three Faces, a film that marked both a professional milestone and a personal turning point. During production, she developed a deep connection with Italian director Franco Indovina, their relationship blossoming amidst the creative environment of filmmaking. Her role as Shah in the movie seemed to blur the lines between her past and present, art imitating life in an almost cruel twist of fate. Tragedy and solitude and the fragile happiness Soraya had found in her new life was shattered in 1972 when Franco Indovina perished in a devastating plane crash. This tragic loss drove her deeper into the isolation that had been building since her departure from Iran. The woman who had once commanded the attention of an entire nation now found herself wrestling with profound depression and loneliness. Her settlement from the Shah, amounting to $1 million, allowed her to maintain a comfortable lifestyle in Paris, but money could not fill the void left by lost love and purpose. In 1991, Soraya poured her heart into her memoir, The Palace of Loneliness, a title that perfectly encapsulated the paradox of her existence, a woman who had everything, yet found herself ultimately alone. The memoir revealed the depth of her isolation, painting a portrait of a woman caught between worlds, between identities, between loves. Her words resonated with readers who saw in her story not just the tale of a fallen queen, but a deeply human narrative about the price of love, duty, and the sometimes impossible choices we face in life's grand theater. Life in Exile, A Golden Cage. Following her divorce, Soraya's financial settlement of $5 million, coupled with promised lifelong support from the Shah, ensured her material comfort in Europe. Yet this golden cage often felt constraining, as she frequently expressed that the funds barely covered her sophisticated lifestyle in Paris. Her apartment in one of the city's most prestigious neighborhoods became both her sanctuary and her prison, a place where luxury couldn't mask the growing emptiness within. The final chapter of a royal romance. In 1979, as Mohammad Reza Pahlavi lay dying of cancer in Panama, fate offered one last chance for reconciliation. Soraya, her heart still harboring deep feelings for her former husband, penned an emotional letter expressing her enduring love and desire for a final meeting. The Shah's response revealed that their connection had never truly died. He, too, longed to see her. However, the presence of Empress Farah, who remained constantly by his side, complicated this last chance for closure. When arrangements were finally made for Soraya to visit him in Cairo in 1980, death proved faster than love, claiming the Shah before their reunion could take place. The Twilight Years. Life at 46th Avenue. Montaigne became Soraya's final act. Despite her isolation, she maintained a semblance of her former social life, occasionally gracing the elegant parties hosted by the Duchess de la Rochefoucauld. Her friend Massimo Gargia, ever concerned for her well-being, attempted to introduce her to younger social circles, hoping to reignite her spirit. She found small comforts in daily rituals, regular visits to Alexandra Zari's hair salon, peaceful moments in the Plaza Athénée Hotel's lobby across from her apartment, and the loyal companionship of her former lady-in-waiting, Madame Shamrad Fouad Bedan. A Queen's Farewell. On October 25, 2001, the curtain fell on Soraya's remarkable life story. She was discovered in her Paris apartment days later, having passed away peacefully in her sleep at 69. The official records cited natural causes, but those who knew her understood that years of emotional turmoil and depression had taken their toll. Her funeral in Munich's Westfriedhof Cemetery was an intimate affair, attended by a small circle of friends and family. In a poignant gesture, Empress Farah sent flowers but remained absent, a final reminder of the complex relationships that had shaped Soraya's life. Legacy of longing. After her death, several women emerged claiming to be Soraya's daughters, adding a mysterious epilogue to her story. These claims remained unverified, yet they highlighted the profound impact of childlessness on Soraya's life, a circumstance that had not only cost her the crown, but had haunted her until her final days. Her life embodied the eternal conflict between duty and desire, between the privileges of royalty and the price of true love. Though surrounded by luxury until the end, Soraya's story remains a testament to the truth that all the riches in the world cannot fill the void left by unfulfilled dreams and lost love. The former queen's journey from the glittering halls of Tehran's palaces to the quiet solitude of her Paris apartment encapsulates a universal truth about human nature, that sometimes the most privileged lives can be the loneliest, and that true happiness often lies not in the grandeur of our surroundings, but in the fulfillment of our heart's deepest desires. A legacy of love and loss. Though Soraya's story came to its final chapter in the solitude of her Parisian apartment, her legacy continues to captivate hearts worldwide. Her journey from a young bride who captured a nation's imagination to a solitary figure in exile represents one of history's most poignant royal love stories. The tale of Iran's last true queen resonates deeply with those who understand the eternal conflict between duty and desire. The complexities of her life, from the glittering halls of Tehran to her quiet existence in Paris, remind us that even the most privileged lives can be touched by profound loneliness. Her story challenges our understanding of happiness, suggesting that true fulfillment often lies not in material wealth or social status, but in the authentic connections we forge and the dreams we dare to pursue. Soraya's memoir, The Palace of Loneliness, stands as a testament to her enduring spirit and the universal themes of her life's journey. Through its pages, we glimpse not just the tale of a fallen queen, but a deeply human narrative about the prices we pay for love, the weight of expectations, and the sometimes impossible choices that shape our destinies. As we reflect on her remarkable life, questions inevitably arise about the nature of true love and the sacrifices we make in its name. Was the romance between Soraya and the Shah truly star-crossed, destined for tragedy from the start? Or was their love simply crushed beneath the weight of royal duty and dynastic expectations? The answer perhaps lies somewhere in between, in the delicate balance between personal happiness and public responsibility. If this story has touched your heart, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Did Soraya and the Shah's love story resonate with you? Subscribe for more captivating historical narratives that remind us of the timeless power of love and sacrifice. Sometimes, the most beautiful stories are also the most heartbreaking.